3周。
3周啊，3个礼拜还是
3个礼拜。
啊？
对。
好，不久啊。
对。
你现在住在黄金海岸吗？对吗？
对。
When we're talking about the present moment, okay? There's two words I've given you here: 现在 which you know yet, and 目前。目前 you might not know that sort of like think of it as like now versus currently. Okay? So I'm currently living in Gold Coast. Okay?
结合在一起。
它 Brisbane 没有，对吗？
对，
很少，
比较少这种。
很少。好，所以你现在住在黄金海岸吗？
We're not looking at continuous actions yet. We're just looking at the present moment. So 现在 you guys live on the Gold Coast, so you can say 现在我住在黄金海岸。
所以你谁帮你选啊
My boyfriend.
你 boyfriend?
Yeah.
那他是中国人吗？
是。
他现在住哪里？
现在在中国。
在中国。所以你谁帮你选啊
My boyfriend.
你 boyfriend?
Yeah.
那他是中国人吗？
是。
他现在住哪里？
现在在中国。
在中国。
So remember we talked about the timeline. Yeah? You've sort of seen this before. Now this is the timeline. Now what I've broken it up into is 3. Okay? The difference between the progressive action that's happening in the present moment, progressive action that is happening in the past, or happened in the past, sorry, and a completed action that happened in the past. The way you look at that is you zoom in on a timeline. So you look at this in the mind's eye. Okay, how we see the event that plays out in time. Okay? So every language does this. So what I'm doing now, actually, you can do this with Chinese, obviously you can do it with English, you can do it with Spanish, French, Russian, you name it. Okay? So this is a biological thing. This is how us humans view time and how events play out in time. Okay? So the first one is the progressive. So the example is here, the progressive at the moment, I am drinking coffee. Okay? Yeah? Or I'm eating dinner, I'm watching TV, that's at the moment. Someone rings you up at the moment and says, what are you doing? I am drinking coffee. Okay? I'm drinking coffee. Versus the next one down, which is I was drinking coffee. So this morning at 10 o'clock when Nathan called me, I was drinking coffee. So see how what we've done is on the timeline, you can see on the timeline what we've done is we are zooming in on the event. Does this make sense, guys? You zoom in on the actual action itself. You're not worried about when it started or when it finished. You're actually looking at the action. Okay, so you zoom in, you see me sitting there having a coffee. In the process of having a coffee, yeah? Drinking coffee. Versus a completed action. Completed action is I drank coffee. This morning I drank coffee yesterday or whatnot. Okay? Now the difference is if you zoom in on an event and you take in the process, that is the ing. You can say that's the ing in English, correct? Other languages express a different way, but in English it's the ing. When you zoom back out a little bit, you take in the whole event as a complete action. You could roughly say that's the ed in English. Okay? You finish that cup of coffee. Yes, Dan?
Can you give us an example in Johnson?
Yes, that's what I'm going to. But I want you to get that concept now. I want you to get that concept that this is how it works, because in Chinese, it's done the same, but it's a little bit more flexible.